don't need a Christian and Muslim conflict in Kano. We need Christian investors, Jafar Bello. The Kano state government claimed to have demolished the monument put in place to commemorate Kano's Golden Jubilee because it carried the Christian symbol, a cross. The former PDP governorship aspirant of the 2023 gubernatorial election in Kano State, Jafar Bello, has alleged that the action by the present administration might discourage Christian investors. Before you even start looking at investors, you need to show that you're genuine in creating a conducive environment for people to just live and unite. It's not just business straight away. Like, I understand it's important for the economy in Kano. However, if people cannot just live in the state and are just there because they feel like they're being used for the economy, but really when it comes to social interaction or how the people in general will relate to one another, or, the rise in new conflict, then why should they go anyways? Why should, Christian people go to a place where they would feel unsafe? If they feel unsafe, then how would their businesses then survive? He argued that the scuffle between Rabiu Kwakwanso and Abdullahi Ganduje has to be settled. So he basically argues that these two individuals have to settle their scuffle to ensure that Kano State will move forward. He stated further that citizens of the state need to be encouraged, that their businesses will be safe in the state, and according to him, the new governor's action was premeditated and uncalled for. He said, the current administration wants to ensure that the previous administration legacy will be wiped out of the landmark of the state. You see, that this is the problem. And this problem is replicated even on a federal level with the presidency and the different administrations that we have. So now, with the elections and different bodies of Nigeria's government, there are different administrations, and all this administration will make up for the big administration, which is Nigeria's government, right? So when we are so focused on the administration's legacy, what they did, I think it's Nigeria is not an ideal world where we have reached the bare minimum of living, of survival, of governance to start thinking on administration's legacy. There is no foundation for how Nigeria should be governed. So what it means is that we are literally at the mercy of the changing administrations. So this administration can do something that is so unique to them, and this administration will come in, take over, and then do a whole different thing. And that is why you hear comments when Nigerians will compare administrations and even want to go back to a previous administration because it was less, it was less intense. It was at least, favorable to a point where they could bear. So having comments like, I wish we would go back to this, to this person's time or that person's time is very bad. And why can't we see that it puts us behind? So this is the problem as well, because it gives such a selfish leadership style, because you're just concerned about what you're going to do or the personal gains you're looking to collect in office, not even thinking of the people, not having them in mind, but just thinking of we have to wipe out this legacy, this administration's legacy, and then, bring in our legacy. I mean, what do you gain from that? It's so shameful, in my personal opinion. And that's why, this individual goes and states that we don't need a Christian and Muslim conflict in Kano. We need Christian investors. No investor wants to come in and see religious biases, and the citizens of the state need to be encouraged to own properties and invest in their businesses in the state. I mean, and we expect to move forward like this. And I think, to be honest, because, it's people and with leadership, there's more than likely a sheepish-like movement. So, there's a lot of onus and dependency on whoever is in office to carry themselves well, because what they are would basically be reflected on the people. And so when you have leaders, people like even El Rufai, or just in the north, northern leaders and political leaders where they make comments that allude to favoring and upholding their religion, or making it, a point to emphasize how much they are devoted to their religion and how much it's tied into their identity. It's such a problem, because you're not just leading your people or people that are Muslims, you're leading Christians, you're leading a whole pot. So you really have to live more than what you know, and really lead in a way where it's like you're not just catering to people that you know. That's like, is that full leadership? And I think it's like, for example, with Tinubu in government, for example. So you're telling me that the people who didn't vote for him will not benefit from whatever he does in office if he does well. Like, we can't continue to think like that, and it's very sad, because it reflects how the people also think. And so even on a micro level of just social interaction and how we as a community and how united we are, if we're literally bashing one another, very what's the word, we don't tolerate one another or tolerate different tribes, or we push stereotypes, right? Our level of thinking is so backwards, where if someone does something to you because they're from that tribe, the further interactions you'd have with that specific tribe is that they're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. There's a lot of work to do, and I think a lot of it has to, because there's power in the people, and there's a lot of power there, the people and how they think, that's where the real power is, because that really needs to change. And I think those at the top are very bent on making sure the people are sheepish and do not try at all to fix themselves and fix their thinking. And that's when you really realize that, wow, like, these politicians and those in office, they do not have the best interests of Nigerians at heart. It shows in their actions. It shows in their political parties, in their structures, in how they go about elections and how they forget Nigerians, in how they make such crucial decisions but don't fully acknowledge how it will affect the people, as if the people aren't the primary, what's the word? As if the people would not face consequences and be the primary, what's the word I'm looking for? But they basically be the people that will be most affected by decisions, but yet aren't considered to a considerable level when our leaders are making decisions. It's a problem. We have issues within ourselves that makes us easily divisible. And that's where the real issue is. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.